might have pressed the wrong button then, but it's okay, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Ice Cream Uploads here on Wednesday morning. I hope that you are having a fantastic day so far. And Madge has just reminded me that chatbot's dead, so I'm going to get that up and running while I welcome you to twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. Again, I'll mention it. It is Wednesday. It is 10 past 11. We actually went live at... How long have we been live for? Let me bring this back up here. We've been live for 12 minutes, so therefore we are still in the 10 a.m. realm. Ish. It's a massive ish. Of course it's a massive ish. But you have got a dollop today. Graham is disgracefully having a week off, despite him going to be coming back online later tonight for some Gamescom action. He was actually going to be coming on this morning, but he has got a few things that he needed to do. So yeah, I can't have a go at him too much because he was going to make the effort, and sounds like a Dalek. Double echo. Double echo? I've got a double mic on. Ah, okay, yep. This is what Football Manager's done to our stream, ladies and gentlemen. This is what Football Manager has done to our stream. But it's okay. It's okay. I've deleted the other microphone. I've worked it out. I've got it figured out. So we can play copyright music and everything now. There's just certain things that I need to mute in Wavelink, and then some things that I need to mute in the audio mixer on OBS. But we've sorted it. Do you know what I mean? Annoyingly, right, all the settings that you have in Wavelink, and Graham will tell you this every single morning, right? When we go live, we don't necessarily go live the minute that me and Graham get into a conversation on Discord. This is a little behind the scenes. I'm opening the curtains. I'm cracking it just a little bit for you to be able to see. So me and Graham will go on. We'll join a call like half an hour before we go live. And 25 minutes of that is him sorting out his microphones, because Wavelink... It's a fantastic piece of software. However, everything turns off or on, or just by default. Like, if I left this and shut down my PC now, how it is, audio sounds great. There's no double echo or anything like that. If I turn this off now, when I turn it back on again, the settings are completely different. Like, you have to go through and select things, but that's just me not checking things beforehand, just expecting it to work, like normal people do. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're not hearing me twice now. I mean, that's a blessing. You got to hear me twice. Not just once, twice. But now, everything's sound. Everything's good. Everything is good to go. We are live again, twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads at 10 a.m. We went live at 10 a.m.-ish. That's all we need to worry about. So yes, you have got me for today. I don't know whether or not he will be coming, but Graham will be joining us for the rest of the week. I know he's actually booked a week off work to potentially go away. That isn't happening. But you can't expect the man to just jump online to satisfy our video game news in the morning. Do you know what I mean? He's got a life. He's got a wife. He's got a child. He needs to go out and, walk around Manchester buying coffees and drinking donuts. Do you know what I mean? But Hoss, thank you very much for the follow as well. Very much appreciated. But yes, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I know there's a lot of people in here nice and early this morning, so I very much appreciate you all waiting for me to go, for us to go live. And just get involved with the conversation. We very much appreciate that. So I'm going to go through a few of the comments this morning. I love reading them first thing. You guys are all absolute legends, apart from when you say double audio, morning baby echo, double audio, it sounds like a Dalek. I appreciate you letting me know, because I definitely wouldn't have found out. But Lotus coming in. Everyone stand back. There's been a terrible accident. I can't do the Bristolian accent. If Spike was here, he'd absolutely nail it. But to be fair, Lotus, I think you can actually do it better than Spike. And he is actually from Bristol. Gargad's in here, nice and early. Good morning, Jex. Good morning, gents. Checks, yes, it's still morning. Appreciate that. That's why we've got the Ishimote. You guys love it. You love to see it. Do you know what I love as well? I love the fact that we have no designated time to go live every single morning. Like, we say it's 10 a.m., but it could be 10 past 12. Do you know what I mean? There is a 10 in there somewhere, but it's usually 2 hours after the fact. And you guys still turn up every single morning, so we very much appreciate that. You understand that the work stuff comes first. We've got to get that stuff done. This is a side thing that we do every single morning, but we like to, even if it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and we haven't done it in the morning, we're still going to give you that, the scoop. We're still going to give you that juicy news, so you don't have to scale all the other websites. We do all that for you. Lotus says that it needs more sprinkles. Love the start videos. The start videos always make my morning, because they are some of the best stuff. I mean, there's people in those videos that are obviously no longer with us. They're not dead, but they're just no longer part of, obviously, Jelly Media, so they don't stream on this channel anymore. So it's always nice to see how far the Ice Cream Uploads has gone. I think we've been live for about 4 years now. So it's always nice to see those kind of clips. Ian's in here. Good morning, Shagger. I haven't spoken to you for a while, Ian. I hope you're doing well, pal. Lotus is back in here again saying fixed. Hey, mate, hope you're well. Baxter's in here. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. Love I'll get a wave link. It's great for them. And exactly, it's just a pain in the fucking ass. How it keeps on resetting itself. But with a powerful piece of kit like that, if you have to spend the 10 minutes, which I don't, in the morning to get it all sorted out, it's probably worth the wait. Bax says, what are you expecting from Konami today? I've guided Wrexham up to the 7th in League One currently, working on a new tactic and a plan of overbought creative midfielders. Well, it's funny you should say that, actually, because I will hopefully be going live later on this afternoon with some more Curzon Ashton Football Manager goodness. Are you working on the tactics yourself, or have you been scouting the internet for best tactics to use? Because I'm very much a man of, I like to build it from the ground up, but I do think it will probably be it'll get me to the championship a lot quicker, but it's one of them things, like, are you looking for wonder kids? Are you doing everything by hand? The by hand stuff is always fantastic, and I love the fact that I'm actually streaming this for you guys, so you can actually see that I'm not manipulating it by downloading tactics and going on the internet to try and find wonder kids and stuff. We are literally just finding what we can afford, which is next to fuck all at this point. But we're doing well, so yeah, we'll definitely get on with that later on. But yeah, what are you expecting from Konami today? Even if I wanted to tell you, I genuinely have no idea because I don't work on the Konami stuff, but even if I did, I couldn't tell you. That's just, we are video game marketers. We are Konami is our client. We'll always make that clear. I mean, you guys obviously know this anyway, but we would never be able to tell you even if we did know. So it's just one of them things. What am I expecting? I genuinely have no idea. But we'll wait and see. Again, it's got to be better than what we seen last night with the Xbox conference, right? Yeah, you know what I mean. If anyone was there for the stream last night, yeah, it wasn't the best. Gary's here. Morning, afternoon, bib. Hope you're doing well, pal. Ad says it's strange as Konami aren't listen to be at Gamescom. Do you mean listed? Anyway, Madge says hamburgers won't eat themselves with Graham around. Exactly. Graham is single-handedly keeping the burger market open in Manchester. Lotus says, how many sprinkles does it cost to make the entrance video? Make it onto the entrance video. Well, first of all, you need to get a job at Jelly Media. Second of all, you need to be half-decent at PUBG, which, to be fair, you carry me. So, yeah, either one of those things probably will get you onto it. Baxter says, yeah, mate, my own brain, and I'm the same, couldn't sleep thinking of it, send help. I'm in 2027 now, and the game is basically all new, so I have to work my brain. That's the best part of it, though, getting the scouts. I mean, I apologise for people who are just joining this, that think that they're going to get video games news right away. You are going to get it, but Football Manager talk, it takes precedence, you know what I mean? I love the fact that when you start in a non-league setting, you don't have any money to spend, so you can't buy players, but you can give them contracts, and then you just have to try and manipulate them into signing something that if they don't make an appearance, it'll only cost you a tenner, but if they do make an appearance, it'll only cost you 50 quid. Like, trying to find the balance is quite difficult, but that's where it's at for me. I love doing that stuff, and then obviously when you move up the leagues, you can afford better scouts to go out and scout 10 players at a time rather than one, and then using your club's budget to send them to Scotland for 3 days so they can scout a play, but then it'll cost you 500 quid for hotels and 200 quid for a train fare and, you know, all that stuff. Like, it's literally 700 quid of your budget has just gone from sending a scout up. All that stuff is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Back to, Ads is there saying listed, yes, Dan got all correct. Graham's here, said, might have had a burger last night. Let's go. Animated, let's go. Obviously, if you are a Twitch subscriber, you'll be able to use the animated emojis. Do you use them? Yeah. Okay, maybe not. Baxter says, I'll be in your stream later, mate. Take care. Enjoy the stream this morning. Thank you. Appreciate that, mate. Law says, big, juicy, greasy, cheesy, onion, dripping burger. That sounds like Graham in a nutshell, really. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you've come here for video game news. I'm going to give you video game news. We're going to start with what we went through last night. It was traumatic. I haven't slept a wink since it. But maybe there is just a little bit of brightness at the end of the tunnel. Do you know what I mean? Let's get into the first news article. I'm going to take a quick swig of my drink as well because I've got dry mouth. Hopefully this will come up on the screen. Ooh, that's a good latte. Anyway, we're coming through twice again, aren't we? 1 second. Let me just delete that. There we go. Yep, there we're not coming through twice again now. We just got rid of the microphone stuff. I did have backup microphone stuff if the wave link died. I don't need that anymore because I know it's going to work. It's just one of them things. But anyway, written on Eurogamer by Tom Phillips. Written on Eurogamer by Tom Phillips. Everything shown during Microsoft's Xbox Gamescom livestream. Now that is a bit of a tongue twister. I had to record the intro video 3 times this morning because I couldn't get used to saying that. I just kept on slipping up. It's like Xbox boss. But I couldn't get used to saying it, and I fucked the video up 3 times anyway, 4 times the charm and all that. Microsoft has broadcast its big Xbox Gamescom live stream. Did it again, fell over, which gave us a look at Forza Horizon 5, but notably skipped all mentions of Halo Infinite. The show started with another look at Dying Light 2, a sunset-drenched modern Dark Ages, post-apocalyptic, full of parkour gameplay. Techland's long-awaited sequel arrives the 7th of December, 2 days before Bibby's birthday. So if you have got a calendar, make sure you get it 9th of December, Bibby's 31st birthday, and then send all the Disaronno Velvet over to my gaff. You're not having my address, send it to Jelly Media. Next up was an extended look at Microsoft Flight Simulator with the chatty Jorg Newman. With the chatty, I'm glad somebody else picked up on it, Jesus Christ, who talks more about the games that will come in 6th World Update covering Germany, Austria and Switzerland, which is due out on the 7th of September. After that, the Reno Air Race competitive multiplayer expansion arrives this autumn, letting you race against friends from others around the world. A futuristic helicopter taxi named Velocity. I mean, that's Velocity, but they've capitalised a C to throw me off there, but Velocity is coming in November. Word on the game's Top Gun expansion, though, remains under wraps. Humble Games is bringing a lot of titles to Xbox Game Pass Day 1. Archvale, Next Space, Rebels, Midnight Flight Express, Dodgeball Academia, Bushiden, Flynn, Son of Crimson, Unpacking, Signalist, Unsighted, and Chinatown Detective Agency. Plus, Into the Pit, a fast-paced, first-person Eldritch dungeon crawler coming the 19th of October. Actually, Into the Pit looked great. It looks very Doom-esque, but with might and magic. It looks cool. That's definitely one that I would like to pick up. After that, well, it was a look at Trebuchet, the medieval siege weapon, as part of a spot focusing on Age of Empires 4. This went on for quite some time. I mean, the how it's made stuff was brilliant, to be fair. I really enjoyed that, but yeah, the sit-down stuff, that kind of threw me off. Microsoft's big service announcement on the night came from with the news that Xbox Game Pass Ultimate getting cloud gaming on Xbox consoles this holiday. So yes, this means you'll be able to play Flight Sim on Xbox One, which is great. In Exile's Cult of the Holy Detonation DLC for Wasteland 3 is coming on the 5th of November, and it's set in a, Jesus Christ, why are these words? They're trying to trip me up. Chennai Mountain Military Complex. I mean, I'm going with that anyway, even if it's not. And it's designed for players at level 16. I did actually download Wasteland 3 last night, so we'll be giving that a go. I don't know whether or not it's stream worthy. Maybe we'll find out when I play the first 5 minutes or so, whether or not I think it's going to be worthwhile, but we'll get into that. Sea of Thieves is getting a set of Borderlands crossover ships cosmetics with Mayhem-inspired quests available until the 7th of September. That's one for you, Jordan. I don't know if you're in the chat yet, but that's definitely one for you to log in and not forget about it like you did with Halo. You meant to be the biggest Halo fan in the world. You missed it. Boom. State of Decay's homecoming arrives on the 1st of September. This returns as Heartland's Trimble Valley as a revamped and expanded map and rounds off some of the game's storylines. Undead Labs have also announced that the game had ticked over the milestone of having 10 million lifetime players. More on that later on. Stray Braid is a colourful RPG where you play as an ever-reviving rogue adventurer with a wolf sidekick, due sometime in 2022. Now, I'm just going to play the trailer on this, right? Because this is something that I know we wasn't arguing. We was too busy just talking about how bad the other stuff was, but I think this is one that actually slipped under the radar. I said at the time that the Stray Braid actually looks like a BB game, and it also looks like something that Mr. Shogun Ash will absolutely be into as well, with the way that the combat is. I think this could be a sleeper one, you know. I think this went under a lot of people's radars. This definitely is a BB game, and I'm looking forward to picking this one up. I know it says pre-alpha build. I've muted it, so obviously you can't hear any of the copyright music and stuff that's in there, but this looks great. This was probably one of the pick of the bunches out of all of them so far. So yeah, that's definitely one that I want to look a bit more into as we hear more about it. I don't know, it didn't give a release date or anything for it, so it's being seen as it's pre-alpha. It's going to be a long time before we come through and see anything of a release date with that. But moving on anyway, as leaked, Crusader Kings 3 is coming to Xbox, though we didn't find a date via this official confirmation. After that, we got a chat with a Double Fine about Psychonauts 2, which is out tomorrow, which is actually today, and very good. After that, The Gunk, the next game from the creators of SteamWorld, got another airing, and it's due in September. Again, This one we did actually pick up on. This actually looks pretty good as well, to be perfectly honest. I'm just going to skip forward a little bit to see. There we go. I don't know the premise of the game. I probably got to read up a little bit more about it, but I like the art style. I like the fact that it looks kind of like a platformer. I'm interested to see more of this, because from this it looks pretty good. I just need to know the premise of it. I need to know what the deal is. Why am I hoovering up gunk? What's the deal? So I'm sure we'll find out more about that soon, considering it's coming out in December. As the show began to wrap up, Forza Horizon 5 took centre stage. We saw the game's typically spectacular intro sequence, and it covers cars. Oil getting a detailed look at all of this. Ollie got a detailed look of all this and got to ask Playgrounds some questions about the game, including the fact that you can play as Forza Horizon 5's campaign almost entirely without racing. And that was it, with no appearance of Halo Infinite or word on its release. Microsoft will be taking part in tomorrow's Gamescom opening night live, so perhaps it will appear then. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know a lot of you that was in here were watching it with us, and again, I very much appreciate the time spent doing that with us. It made our night, really, because it was 90 minutes of meh, if I'm being honest. And I think that's, we kind of give it was less than, I think, was it 4 and less yesterday? So yeah, it wasn't the best conference from Xbox, which, as I went on to explain yesterday, is a huge disappointment, purely because of how much Xbox have done marketing-wise to try and give a good impression of the brand. Over the last 2 years, Xbox have gone from a second place to near enough level with PlayStation, and I don't think it's rude to say that. I think PlayStation are market leaders at this moment in time in terms of console sales. Maybe not in messaging or marketing, but I suppose when you just throwing out games, they seem to be doing really well. Xbox haven't been able to do that. We've been waiting a while for the likes of Halo. We've been waiting a while for the likes of Forza. So in that respect, it's been quite difficult for them, but their marketing messages for the last 2 years have been absolutely fantastic. They've brought back consumers to their products. They've got all eyes on games everywhere with the likes of xCloud and being able to play streamable games on your mobile, your tablet, your PC. So they've been doing everything right, but this fell flat for me, and I think it fell flat for a lot of people. Twitter isn't the kindest place usually, and it definitely wasn't against this conference yesterday. They was ripping it apart, and to a degree, rightly so. There was only a few things in there that stood out. A lot of it was stuff that we'd seen previously, and they did set that expectation early on. We just thought we'd going to get a little bit more. Like the 20-second trailers and stuff like that, that's absolutely fantastic if you've got a conveyor belt of stuff coming off left, right and centre like it was at E3. But this wasn't. This was 20 seconds of something and then 10 minutes of them talking about that product. We kind of left that stuff behind at E3 with a few conferences, and it's a shame that we've ended up reverting back to that. But there is a time and a place for it. I don't think it was here. I think that kind of stuff should be reserved for people who are interested in that game and learning more about it, maybe as an on-demand stuff on YouTube. But who am I to judge? There would have been millions of people watching that. I just hope that the fanfare was exciting at the stuff that they were excited about. Like, again, Strayblade was something that I'm happy at seeing. I never even knew that was a game. I've seen it. I think it looks fantastic. State of Decay. We've already seen something of State of Decay 3, so they mentioned that there wasn't going to be showing anything new, like any new announcements. They could have shown us something from State of Decay 3, but they've obviously opted to show what seems to be the final patch of State of Decay 2 in terms of expansions, which is fantastic. State of Decay is a mint game. Like, it's a fantastic game. We've streamed it a lot on this channel, so I'm interested to see what comes with that after the Juggernaut edition. Obviously, this is the Homecoming one. We've seen some stuff from Sea of Thieves. I'm not a Sea of Thieves fan, but 2K getting involved and giving you some skins for your boat with the Borderlands stuff. I don't know if that is just a Borderlands skin for your boat. I don't know whether or not that goes deeper. It didn't really touch on that. Maybe some partnership stuff later down the line. Who knows? But Sea of Thieves is going strong every single year. So, yeah, why not? Why not? We had the Halo one. Why not Borderlands? Wastelands 3, that actually got my attention. I'm interested in seeing more of that. Obviously, I ended up downloading it, so I don't need to waffle on about that because I feel like I'm doing the same as what they're doing yesterday. Flight Simulator is never going to be a show opener, which it very nearly was, and that kind of set the tone for the rest of it. I gave some very unsavoury things about it, not because of how bad the game looks or anything, but like, what is the point of it? I am definitely in a minority when it comes to that because people seem to love it. I just don't think there's a purpose to it. but it'll never open a show. It very nearly did. It gave the first 20 seconds of a plane flying around, and then went on to Dying Light, and then back onto Flight Simulator. So that was a bit of a weird production choice. But anyway, Dying Light 2, yeah, it looks like an Xbox 360 game. I'm always one for gameplay over visuals. I don't particularly like Dying Light. I never really got into the first one. Will I go back and play it? I don't think that trailer did anything for me to want to go back and do that. So, I mean, I don't know who it was. Was it Madge yesterday said that it was Dying Light was the most wishlisted game on Steam? I may have been Madge. I'm not too sure. I apologize if I've got that wrong. It could have been Tito. But yeah, and then Forza Horizon 5. I mean, Forza Horizon, you sold me on Forza Horizon 4. I'm going to pick up Forza Horizon 5, especially it's on Game Pass. I've got nothing to lose. I can play it. Probably enjoy it as much as I did Forza Horizon 4. So overall, the show yesterday wasn't the best, and I think that's echoed around the chat. I'm going to go through that in a second, and around on social media. I feel like they missed the point massively. It's a shame, but they'll always bounce back. They've got the games coming out soon, so hopefully all the moods will change with that as well. But we could see some Halo stuff tonight. There's every single chance that that's going to be the case. There's a lot of people pointing towards that on social media as well. It seems bizarre to me that they're going to show something in Opening Night Live, but not at your biggest conference. Like, if they'd have shown Halo and they'd have done not a deep dive, but they'd have shown something off that would have pulled you in, I think that conference potentially would have gone to like a 6, maybe a 7, especially with the likes of Jordan. I think we would have seen him pitching a massive tent with that, and we didn't even get to see that. Do you know what I mean? So I feel them not showing Halo in your biggest conference, it feels like a massive letdown. It feels a smack in the face to me. Are Halo now bigger than Xbox? Nah, Halo is the reason why Xbox is probably still going along. They've obviously got a handful of games with the likes of Gears of War, Forza, and Halo. So it's interesting that they didn't really show it off that much. But who knows? Today's a different day. We've got a 2-hour watch along going live tonight at 7 p.m. So maybe we'll see something there. I'm not too sure. But let's get into the chat because it has been flying this morning. I appreciate all of that. Let's move back up. Fix, nice one, baby. Yeah, I got there early, Madge. I got there early. Ad says it looked shit. We get ads. You don't like Xbox? Chill out. State of Decay 2 DLC was peak Xbox. Signalist was the game I was saying might be your cup of tea, bib. Okay. I love a Shania Twain mountain. Man, I feel like a woman. Anyway, Madge says Wasteland 3 got that on sale from what I've saw. It's a good game. I'm looking forward to playing it on PC, to be honest. Hours and hours of content, dripping in content. This looked decent. Spunks looked good. Spunks looked good. Krusty Socks says Jordan. Looks like that Savage Planet game. Fatman Dave says it's pronounced Shania Mountain. I know that as because of Stargate SG-1 because there is a base. Madge says that's what it reminded me of. Gamescom. Ad says Gamescom kicks off at 7 p.m. today. Yes, we'll be going live around. Yeah, I don't know what time we're going to be going live. I don't know if they're going to have a pre-show. It will be probably no later than 6:45. We like to get in there nice and early. It depends on how quick we can get all our streaming stuff sorted out. Obviously, follow us on our social media stuff. We'll be able to tell you when we are going live. 30 minutes of making a huge gobstopper and launching it. True that. And Ice Cream Little said it was Tito. Yeah, I thought it was either Tito or Madge. I couldn't remember. But thanks for clearing that one up, Graham. Madge says Flight Simulator is a quirky game, but sure, it's a quality game. I've seen some good YouTube videos where they used to show off locations and stories being told. I mean, if you're making your own content around it, that's absolutely fantastic. But as a consumer, if I'm just playing with a controller and I'm flying from A to B, to me, that's not going to drag me in. I need something. I need that Euro Truck Simulator kind of vibe. I need a purpose. Why am I going to these destinations? Is it to unlock new parts of the map? Is it to take cargo from one side or the other, and then I can work my way up from a little propeller plane all the way up to a Concorde? Like, what's the purpose of me playing these games? If it's just to fly around, that isn't going to bring me in, and it's probably why I've not played one since I played it on Windows 98 when I was 7. Do you know what I mean? For fun, baby, for fun. What's fun? What's fun nowadays? I think because we did talk about State of Decay, I did say we're gonna leave it till the end, but I feel like because it was shown off there, I probably need to talk about it now. So we'll move on to that one rather than leaving it to the end. Graham would have a nice little segue here. I don't have the ability to be able to do that. But anyway, State of Decay 2 has reached 10 million lifetime players, written by Joshua Robertson over at The Gamer. The milestone was shared alongside the announcement of State of Decay 2's Homecoming. It's been revealed during Xbox Gamescom livestream that State of Decay 2 has amassed over 10 million lifetime players since its launch. This news was shared by Undead Labs Director of Communications, Wanda Russell, as she went through some of the things that players can expect from the State of Decay 2 Homecoming expansion. Homecoming is taking players back to Trumbull Valley and has some key differences to the Trumbull Valley we've seen in the Heartland expansion released back in 2019. For one, Homecoming will be less linear, much more open, and will allow players to move their communities over with them. This map has been fully remastered and has all of 2 brand new territories for players to explore. The Homecoming expansion was also described as a sequel to the Heartland expansion, wrapping up certain storylines that began in Heartland and the original game. Russell explains that this isn't Trumbull Valley that players remember, so expect some big changes when it comes to revisiting next month. The expansion will also include certain items that can only be found in the Homecoming map, including plenty of hats, outfits, and weaponry. In regards to the community of State of Decay 2, Russell states that one of the reasons why Trumbull Valley is coming back is due to how much it was requested by its fanbase. After announcing the State of Decay 2 has now reached its 10 million lifetime players milestone, Russell thanked the community and said that Undead Labs is very grateful for the continued support. State of Decay 2 Homecoming is a free upgrade for those who already own the game, who drops on September 1st for PC, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. For those that don't own the game, you'll be pleased to know that both State of Decay 2 and the Homecoming expansion are available via Xbox Game Pass. Also announced, we don't need to read that because we've literally just gone through it. So, ladies and gentlemen, we talked in quite detail compared to the rest of the show yesterday how much we actually love this game. Like State of Decay, I think, especially for someone like Graham who's never really been into these games, it sort of caught him off guard. The fact that you can base build, the fact that you can go out and salvage ammo, salvage bits to be able to craft stuff, to build a massive home base in wherever you want, like that, I think probably catches a lot of people off guard if they've never played these games before. So State of Decay 2 is definitely, I can't even say a sleeper hit anymore when there's 10 million people that have access to playing this game. It's definitely a game, if you haven't played this before and you do have the ability to have Xbox Game Pass, or you've got it on your PC or anything, just give it a whirl. I'm fairly certain that you're going to be amused by it, if anything. I think amused is probably I like that word, because there is definitely something for everyone. There's great combat, there's great melee combat, there's great shooting mechanics, there's great crafting materials, there's great base building. Like, it has a little bit of everything. So it's definitely worth your time. Will this bring me back into going to play it? Absolutely. I mean, I'll definitely give this one a go. I never really got around to finishing State of Decay despite playing far too much of it. So yeah, this is definitely a step in the right direction. I'm just a little bit gutted that we didn't see anything from State of Decay 3 last night. I think that would have been a great time to bring it back again, because it's been so sought after. I mean, the fact that they are still bringing out content for State of Decay 2 shows that there is still a massive community there. If you go onto any of the Discords for State of Decay, especially the official ones, the amount of feedback that gets given there daily is unbelievable. The way that the community are with the development team, they're so close-knit that there's a reason why this game is still going after so long. So it's definitely worth your time if you haven't played it. If you are going to be streaming it, please do so, because you will have people that will be like, we got to shout out to Duke of Donuts, and I can't remember the other fella that came in and helped us out quite a bit. The community is outstanding. Like, there's people who just jumped into the chat who was giving us advice, because there was stuff that, despite playing State of Decay 1, I still wasn't really familiar with. So even someone who's not really a veteran but has played the game before was still learning stuff as we was going along. So the community is second to none. They're fantastic people. So yeah, definitely give this a go if you haven't already. For Games for Fun, says Madge. That cat. Can you keep on seeing it? She keeps on. I don't know what is that? Oh, it's a bottle cap. It's a bottle cap. She just finds stuff out of the bin. She pulls it out of the bin and starts playing with it. So you probably see her dossing around. State of Decay, State of Decay, State of Decay, a game featuring Survivor Decay using his football skills to defeat a world controlled by zombies. The cat wants out. The door is actually open. The door is open, so she can come and go as she wishes. She just chooses not to. Do you think State of Decay 3 will be delayed so it looks new gen? I don't know. Because the trailer, the State of Decay 3 trailer looks good, albeit it is quite brief. When we saw this yesterday, I was like, God, I hope this isn't State of Decay 3, because it looks like it's had it looks like it's had a degrade. You know what I mean? It's like it's had a step backwards, a demake, shall we say? But no, it's State of Decay 2. I hope there's going to be visual differences between them. I think it needs to look as good as it can do, because I think this might be a sleeper hit for Xbox. Like, I don't think it's necessarily a console seller, but the fact that it's Xbox exclusive, is State of Decay 3 going to be Xbox exclusive? State of Decay 3 Xbox exclusive? Because obviously the others were, but I don't know whether or not. Yeah, State of Decay will be released on Xbox Series S, X, as well as PC. So yeah, it's not going to. It's not going to be on PlayStation, so you could potentially have this as a massive sleeper hit if they market it well and market it to an audience. Like, you've got the day before that's going to be coming out soon. I say soon. I don't think we have a release date for that yet, but I think people will get into these types of games soon. Like, they are making a massive comeback. Like, there was a period where we was having games like 7 Days to Die and DayZ and all these other games like The Division as well, to an extent. Like, these games were in a time zone where they were just thriving, and I think this could be Xbox's sleeper hit. Like, we always talk about the Forzas, we always talk about the Halos, but this could be massive for them. So we'll see. I think it deserves to get some more recognition. 10 million people playing it isn't shabby at all by any stretch of the imagination. A lot of studios will probably stop scratching the floor. Oh, she's out the door now. Yeah, it isn't shabby by any stretch of the imagination. It's just, I think they could probably have more if they marketed it differently. And I don't have the answers for that. I just feel like there probably could be more people that may be interested in this. So, yeah, keep an eye on that State of Decay 3 and State of Decay 2. If you haven't played it, please go ahead and do so. You're losing nothing if you have Xbox Game Pass. Just download it. I'm sure you'll have a good time. It could attract some of the Days Gone crowd as well. Exactly. I mean, the Days Gone crowd was huge for a very brief period, but it gets a very bad rep. I do feel like State of Decay is a much better game than Days Gone, despite having similarities. So yeah, we've got a long way to go yet. I'm interested to see more. So I'm just gonna take a quick swig. Can you hear that? I'm talking too much, so you can hear it. Anyway. Moving swiftly on, we'll leave a good story to last. Something that did get touched upon in the Xbox news article. I've tried to dig into stuff that I feel like people will probably want to know more, because there was a lot of shit in that Xbox One, so it may have gone over people's heads, especially as we was amusing ourselves. But anyway, moving on to this article. Guardians of the Galaxy trailer introduces a new villain I've said the same thing, and I corrected myself in that video because I couldn't go through it again. But introduces a new villain. Introduces a new villain and teases an even bigger one. Christ almighty. Written by Josh Coulson over at The Gamer. A trailer for the upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy game has introduced a new villain, and he appears to have been tasked with leading the heroes and an even bigger one. Guardians of the Galaxy is now over a little more than 2 months away, which is a lot sooner than I thought it was going to be, and the hype for Eidos Montreal's Marvel game is really starting to ramp up. A new trailer, or more accurately, what appears to be a full cutscene lifted from the game, debuted online earlier today via Nvidia's YouTube channel. Nvidia released the trailer since it's also revealed Guardians of the Galaxy will include ray tracing and use DLSS technology. Exciting stuff, especially for anyone who's planning on playing the game on PC. However, the trailer also revealed a little more of the story waiting to be told in the game. Most notably, the introduction of a new villain, Grand Unifier Raker. I think I've said that right. Not a name that rolls off the tongue, and knowing the Guardians, there will likely be a joke or two about that. Raker is not to be messed with, though. Rocket attempts to gun him down only to be stopped by an invisible force field. Let's see if I can play this. Here we go. I can read the rest of the article, so we'll leave this playing up here. Raker's not to be messed with, though. Rocket attempts to gun him down only to be stopped by an invisible force field. He is also flanked by a couple of rather large bodyguards who look like they will be very tricky to take down when the time comes. The Guardians appear to have a bigger problem at play. Raker doesn't want to kill them. He is simply there to take them to someone only known as the Matriarch. Whoever she is, the Matriarch seems to be awaiting the Guardians' arrival on a very big, intimidating-looking ship. The ship which you can also see at the very end of the trailer above. Looks more like the moon than a vehicle, especially when compared to the Guardian's mode of transport, which you can just about see making its way in. Eidos Montreal revealed that his Guardians of the Galaxy will be very different from the ones of the MCU. Different backstories, including a way in which Peter Quill will get to his Star-Lord moniker, and living in a universe where Thanos has already been killed and at the hands of Drax, no less. Perfect. Oh my God, Bibi, what was that? Oh, okay, because I kept on saying Villian. We'll get there eventually. But I'm going to speed. Oh, I'm going to speed this up. I'm going to speed this up. There's a big ship of the matriarch. Any more? I really want to play. I really want to play the music from this, but you know, the MCU and all that. But available on October 26th, 2021. Yeah, that's not very far away at all. Very much looking forward to this game. Being a single player game is kind of a small bummer. I would have liked this to have been a 4-player game, but you can't have everything. And I think this will be, again, I don't want to say a sleeper hit because it's Marvel, it's Guardians of the Galaxy. You can't really put them two together. But I think it's going to be a good game for them. I hope it is anyway. I do feel like the storyline is going to be entertaining because if Guardians of the Galaxy is anything, it is hella entertaining. So looking forward to seeing more of that when it arrives next month. I do get a feeling my cat's just come run back in again. I do get the feeling that we are going to be seeing more of that before it actually releases. I want to see more of the combat system. We only seen something at E3 earlier this year, which seems so far away now. So I want to see a little bit more of it, considering the game is coming out in 2 months' time. I think we will see something soon. So I'm super excited. I'm sure you guys are as well. Single-player games are making a comeback, ladies and gentlemen, regardless of how in-depth or ingrained you are in a multiplayer universe. Single-player games are thriving and they are absolutely booming, and I cannot wait to see what more we get from these going forward, especially with licenses. As long as they're not movie adaptations, I don't really care. This is a brand new story, so hopefully this will be as entertaining as the films are, and we get to learn more about some characters that we absolutely love. So, yeah. More Guardians of the Galaxy coming soon. We're 2 months away from it being released. I cannot wait. So moving on to our last article then. This is something that did get touched on in the Xbox stuff that we mentioned earlier. This shouldn't be new news, but it's exciting news nevertheless. Written by Andy Robinson over at VGC, Xbox One users will be able to play Series X and S games via streaming this holiday. Console cloud streaming testing is planned for this autumn. Xbox One users will gain the ability to play Xbox Series S and X games later this year when cloud gaming comes to consoles. It's in Gamescom livestream on Tuesday. Xbox confirmed that console game streaming will launch this holiday, with testing set to take place this autumn. The company currently offers cloud gaming on mobile devices as well as web browsers as part of its Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription service and on PC via the Xbox app, which is weird actually because on my Xbox Xbox app there is no cloud gaming part of it, which is bizarre. If I uninstall it and reinstall it, it doesn't appear. So I'm obviously looking in the wrong place, or I'll have the wrong thing downloaded. But anyway, beside the point. It's a way for console gamers to play some of their favourite games quickly as possible, jump into games with friends more easily, and try out Xbox Game Pass titles before installing them. This feature will allow players to access over 100 games without downloading them and jumping into multiplayer sessions with friends for games that aren't installed on the physical consoles. To ensure the highest quality experience across the broadest sets of devices, we will support up to 1080p and 60 frames, just like Xbox Cloud Gaming Beta, across PCs, phones, and tablets, Microsoft said. We will begin testing the experience as part of our Xbox Insider program this fall, so we can gather valuable feedback and improve the experience. Piers Harding Rolls commented, getting the consoles gamers to try out cloud gaming in this light touch way will help establish streaming. It will also result in a shift of the ultimate usage towards streaming. Microsoft's Xbox Series upgrade is its Azure DC, which means when it's rolled out, users will now be able to stream Xbox Series games to previous gen Xbox Ones. There is a lot in here that's tripping me up. I do apologize. Very few Xbox Ones are being sold globally in 2021, but this will help breathe life into the install bases of 54 million devices. That's baffling, really, isn't it? Like, I know we was talking before about the console race and stuff, but bear in mind there was 120 PlayStation 4s been sold globally, and Xbox have 54 million. I didn't even realize it was over half. It was over half of the amount have been sold. That's mind-blowing. But anyway, Microsoft previously said that it intends to make many Xbox Series S and X games playable on the previous generation of hardware via cloud gaming. For the millions of people who play Xbox One consoles today, we are looking forward to sharing more about how we will be able to bring many of these next-gen games, such as Microsoft Flight Simulator, to your console through Xbox Cloud Gaming, just like we do with mobile devices, tablets, and browsers. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you do have an Xbox One, get it dusted off, because the biggest part of Xbox Game Pass, or the most annoying part, is having to download the games. Like Forza is 90 gigabytes. For someone who doesn't have a massively fast connection, 90 gigabytes is a lot, and it will take a long time to get downloaded. So the fact that I can, my internet is about 60. On a good day, I'll probably get about 45 up here in my bedroom. Hardwired from the box downstairs, it's 60, which is more than doable. That's I think that's average in the UK. So, unless I pay to get a business line put in, which I think cost about $3,000, I'm not going to be able to play in a terabyte download games anytime soon. So the fact that I can stream perfectly. I'm streaming now. I can stream games at 1080p 60 easily, no problems with that whatsoever. So the fact that I don't have to sit there and wait hours for my game to download, if it's 90 gigabytes, and I can just jump straight in like that. Jordan was showing us yesterday on stream how quick getting on Games Pass on his tablet is. Obviously, me and Tito have talked about this with our Razer Keishas on our mobile phones. So the ability to have this on your console is fantastic as well. You can just jump in, jump out at a moment's notice. It's literally Netflix for video games. We talk about Game Pass all the time. There isn't anything to be said that hasn't already been said about Game Pass. I'm fairly certain Tito will jump in soon with how much you can probably get it for. But this is a massive step. I'm excited to see what kind of games will be playable on this to the 54 million, which still blows my mind that many people, that there isn't a closer race, but it is what it is. They're making the right moves. Eventually, that number will start to get closer to the PlayStation market space. So, yeah, I think that's it. Ad says he gets 85.5, but I think it's just not. I think between 50 and 100 are probably the UK average. It's a crying shame that we haven't got the Virgin lines going around here yet, but it is what it is. We'll work it out as and when it comes through. Hopefully Guardians is as good as the other well-documented problems with Avengers. That's my feeling. I mean, obviously this is being made by IDOS, which is hopefully they'll do something. They'll look after it well. But I think that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, it is only a dollop, so you're not going to get the full hour and 20-minute treatment that you usually get, because you will definitely be bored by the time we get finished with it. But I appreciate every single one of you that are stuck by for today's episode. We will be back with Scoop After Dark, or whatever we want to call it. It will just be a Gamescom watch along. Chances are it will feature a hell of a lot of DMCA music. I don't think there is an option this year for us to have a channel where that music's been dampened out, but it did dampen the experience last year at E3. If you go back and watch the stuff that we did and then put onto YouTube, and then watch the actual stuff that was being shown on YouTube with all of the music, it's a completely different experience. So chances are we probably won't be putting out on podcast services. So if you do want to get our reactions live, there is literally only one way that you can do that, and that is by watching us live, because we will probably have to delete the VOD afterwards if it does have any DMCA music in there. So yeah, our socials obviously is Ice Cream Uploads across everything. I'll go through that in a second. I'm just trying to fit. We will be going live no later than 6:45 today. That's our barrier. It might even be a little bit earlier, but 6:45 today. The show starts at 7 p.m. UK time. That is BST at this moment. So if you want to get our live reactions, if you want to be part of the conversations, then do join us obviously over on this channel. Find us on social media. You'll be able to find the links to our channels. It will not be being put on video on demand services unless there is no copyright music, and I can never see that happening and opening that live. So yeah, if you want to get involved with the conversation, you want to be a part of the conversation, you want to see our reactions, and there's only one place that you can do that. You do get one chance. It's only live once. So yeah, please come and join us for that. But we still have 2 more shows of The Scoop left to do this week. So if you want to help shape those, there is 2 ways that you can do that. First of all, find us on social media. It is at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social media platforms, or get involved with our Discord. If you are watching this at any of our on-demand services, go into the description below. All the links that you require will be listed there. But all we need from you is a URL plus your thoughts and impressions. We will then give you our thoughts and impressions on the very next show, which will be at tomorrow at 10. I usually ask Graham this question. He's not here, but it's at 10 a.m.-ish. It's around 10 o'clock. It could be 10 past 11. It could be 10 past 12. There will be a 10 in there somewhere. We don't know how close it will be to 10 a.m., but it will be around that time. But I very much appreciate you all sticking around. We will be going live again after this. I haven't spoken to Graham. I don't know what his plans are, but I am planning on playing some Football Manager again. I don't know whether or not he wants to play some PUBG. I have no idea. I'm assuming he's going out because that's what you should do with your time off. But chances are we'll be going live with some Football Manager. I'm not too sure when. I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to clean the kitchen because it's a fucking disgrace. But we'll be back and we'll do about 2 hours. We've got 2 more episodes, I think, before we finish the end of the season. We've got about 16 games left, so we'll definitely split that up into 2 episodes. So yeah, it's going to be episode 4 starting later on with Curzon Ashton. We are on just outside the playoff places. We are doing extremely well for the squad that we have got. We're not going to be going up this year, but if you do like Football Manager and you love to see a rags to riches story, then please join us for that. We will be going live at twitch.tv/icecreamloads. Get involved with our social media. You'll find out as and when it's going live. But as always, guys, there's always 2 things that I want you to do. First of all, I want you to look after yourselves, and second of all, stay frosty.